You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New caller, go directly to the front of the line. I want that intro to be over with so badly. I've not recorded the other podcast yet, so this is right after the game. I want to run here. I never know which direction I want to go. Sometimes I just want to get my thoughts out on the game right away before I forget. I kind of want to hear from you guys. I feel like we're all going to have similar sentiments, but I want to just take it all in before I get to tomorrow's podcast. So we are going to start with that. But man, look, I'll just say this before we get into the calls. Myself, as well as several callers, and I'm guessing this is the sentiment of a large portion of the fan base, have been saying that since the Micah trade, the team feels different. If you weren't in that camp before the game, I can't imagine you're not in the camp now. That felt entirely different. I'm digging into the dark recesses of the negative Packer fan mind, and I can come up with a couple things.
Well, it's because they lost their coordinators. That's what did it.
Yeah, that's why Penei Sewell can't block anymore, right? Because they lost their coordinators. Look, I thought the Lions' offense looked solid. I know that sounds silly, but what did they do wrong? The ball was out quick, it was crisp, the routes were sharp, the hands were there. The only drop that I can think of was on a tipped pass. That was a disciplined team that came out and was physical. They were aggressive, but the Packers' defense was in their face, in their lap 24/7. So pretending that was a Ben Johnson brain drain, like he could have done something, I mean, maybe he could have done something different as far as a different play call here or there, but even the play calls look fine. I mean, it was always just the right exact thing at the right exact moment as far as I could tell. Outside of that, maybe a couple little, Jordan's going to be throwing those interception balls. We're not going to, I don't know. I'm just saying, outside of that, outside of a handful of nitpicky things that people want to blow up to be something bigger than it should be, while ignoring the giant, can't talk to you right now, Blaine, dominant-sized elephant in the room, you got to be feeling like something's different. Let's get started with Biggie in Minneapolis. It looks like this is maybe just a touch before the game, but we usually allow one of those to sneak in as sort of a here we go kind of thing. So here we go, Biggie.
Whoa, Pack Daddy, bam-a-lam. Hey, the game's about to start. I have not seen the injury list or anything like that. Just turning it on in time to see how Aaron beat his old team.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to put my guess this in of what the schedule is going to be, or I'm sorry, edit this out. What the record is going to be for the Pack this year. And this is going to sound crazy, but I'm all in. I'm a homer. So
we'll see.
I really believe it's going to be 15 games. Yes, you heard me right. I think there's going to be a surprise near the end of the season because they pull some guys because we're comfortable going into the playoffs. We'll probably get beat or bit a little bit out of our own stadium. So we'll lose one on the road, but I really see us cleaning up. I mean, I was at 13 wins before I saw just how good this team how much this team had improved. So I think with the improvement, obviously with our newest addition, I see tremendous more potential. I'll give a game just for that. So that's where I'm at. Go Pack, go.
This would have been crazy yesterday, Biggie. In fact, if I had heard this call prior to the game, I would have probably said this was a little crazy. The Packers whooping the Detroit Lions like a frickin' JV team. I mean, stuff happens, you know what I mean? You give up some fluky games here and there. Some tough games coming up. I mean, we got to face the Lions again, although, they're obviously going to have to be a significantly better team at that point. Also, we had Micah on a pretty steep snap count, as well as Golden, by the way, which I didn't anticipate. But so, that will improve our offense and our defense. Also, Christian Watson will be back at some point. But, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple 12-13 win predictions that came in already with people thinking, wish I'd bumped that up a game or two. All right, 3:36 game just got rolling here. Here's Nico.
All right, so we just had a touchdown strike down the middle to Mr. Tucker Kraft.
That was fast.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing. Jordan Love has all day.
Yeah.
He can't run the ball, but you know what? I expected them to just – I counted 9 dudes in the box earlier.
Sure.
And positive. I just counted real quick. So, I tell you what, this is looking good. I can't remember the last time they drove down and scored on the Lions on their first drive. Golden had a catch. Savion had a catch. Savion had a good kickoff run.
Sure.
Return. I tell you what, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I don't normally call during the game because I regret these calls if we get our, tail smashed.
I don't know.
But I'm just going to ride this good feeling right into the Micah Parsons' first sack in about 5 minutes. I don't know if I can say
you
this.
Crafty bastard.
Who was complaining about you not saying go Pack Go? Because I always say go Pack Go. It's funny, Ryan, I got to tell you, I'm the same way you are. I do things against the grain because that's just how my brain works.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do it at all. I went to a very conservative Christian school in Wisconsin when I lived there. And I didn't, do bad things, but, they would say, you're not allowed to do this. So I did it. But I'm the same way. If people say go Pack Go to me, I just give them the thumbs up. But if I see a dude in the middle of nowhere, I did it just last week. Some guy in Idaho with the Packer shirt on and a Packer hat, I looked at him and I pointed at him and I said, go Pack Go. And he just gave me the thumbs up. So,
see, and that's what I'm saying. You can give the go Pack Go. You just don't reciprocate the go Pack Go. I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not doing it. Nico's not doing it. The guy that Nico said it to gave him the thumbs up. You know what I mean? It's just a good way to shout and be like, hey, go Pack Go. That it's just like the guy knows, oh, you're talking about me and my shirt. I got it. But you just fire back a thumbs up or something, I don't know.
That was awesome. So, yeah, hey, let's just keep this momentum rolling. Let's get a couple sacks coming up. I was already talking trash to my niece's boyfriend down in Florida. He's a big Detroit fan.
Loser.
He said, we run the North. And I said, yeah, look at you. You guys you've been good for 2 years.
They run all
Calm
right.
down. Reality's going to punch you in the face right about this year. So, all right, let's get this party started.
He got the run part right. Jared Goff was running like crazy. And I love hearing these calls after we win and whatnot because it's like, bro, you don't even understand the half of it. But that was a good observation with the guys in the box, and shame on me for not really even noticing. I was a little frustrated with the run blocking early on, obviously, and I even said, later on it'll probably open up, and it did. But I also said in the pregame coming into this that the game plan for both teams is going to need to be stop the run. And good on the Packers. Quarterback, receivers, offensive line looked beautiful as far as pass blocking, as well as Matt LaFleur. When you get one-dimensional on offense, being able to still win through the air is not easy. It's not. They made the Packers one-dimensional, and they were still able to distribute pretty much at will. There's a couple dicey throws in there. There's a little back-to-back, what do you call it? Series that gave me a little heart attack, but aside from that blip, it was pretty much at will. It felt like. Oh, we get the snacks updates. I love the snacks updates.
Daddy, the first TD of the year. Oh, Kraft cheese slices. Take his helmet off and he scores TD. We're up.
Oh man, you got Sunday Night Football on. Lions start 0-1. Packers start 1-0, dominating the Lions. All the hype about the Packers is only going to get louder, and everyone's just going to have to suffer through it. Can you imagine? Listen, I said this. Either Packers fans or Lions fans are going to be in hell for at least a week. If we would have lost, it would have been us. Oh, you paid all that money and it didn't even matter. And 2 first-round picks. And oh, misery. Lions fans are going to be in hell. Nobody thinks they're going to win the division anymore. Nobody thinks they're the top dogs anymore. Everyone's going to be asking questions about, are you bad now? You are tied for last in the division. The loss was handed to you by the Packers, who no doubt are the team you hate the most. Oh, and we get to just bask in it. We get to bask in it. I wanted this so bad because the gap between how amazing this week is going to be compared to how terrible the week would be is incredible. And now I get to kick back and watch Sunday Night Football. Beautiful game between the Ravens and the Bills with not a care in the world. And then on Monday, Bears-Vikings, where I don't care who wins. I don't. And you know what? Bears fans right now are doing a victory lap about the Packer game, which, by the way, I kind of like. There was a brief period of time where I was annoyed by Bears fans who were taking some kind of a weird victory lap about this. But the fact that they're actually excited that the Lions got spanked, because I forgot that the Lions have been tormenting everybody. And so Bears fans are like, suck. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, this is great. I mean, it's better when we were on top and everybody wanted us to lose all the time. But it's fantastic that people in the division are not, they're celebrating our win. Like, we're all living in harmony. You know, the Lions are out of the club and all the rest of us just sit together around the campfire singing Kumbaya. But Bears fans are also talking about, yay, they were terrible because Ben Johnson left and we got him and now we're going to be great. You know what? I'm going to let you have that one, boys. I'm just going to let you have that one. You go ahead and enjoy that. You enjoy it. You better freaking win big tomorrow against the Vikings, or I'm going to come after your throat. But in the meantime, yes, go ahead and use that as a way to make fun of the Lions. I will allow that. Nico, what's up?
You know what? Micah Parsons is definitely washed up. He's got 1 snap and 1 pressure. Freaking no!
Bro, that first play when Micah came out and they had Micah and Rashawn and Van Ness, and he got like an immediate pressure, and other guys were about to get home, and just seeing that package, and it just, you know, again, you talk about feeling different, and that happened all game, by the way, where it was just constant in the quarterback's face. What a turnover from last year, by the way, where it was like, bro, we just cannot get pressure. Again, it got better the second half of the year, but still, it was horrifically bad for a little over a half a season last year. And to come out this year where it just felt like, I don't want to say never because I lived in the 90s. I just don't recall being on this side of a team where it just feels like if that quarterback doesn't get the ball out immediately, they're dead. We've seen that happen to Rodgers a few times. You know, you go up against some tough defenses where Rodgers is just screwed. Jordan's first game against the Chiefs was that way. That was because they were bringing like 7 at least every single time, but still. Just the absolute excitement of having a defense like this, and then you go on social media and you got guys doing reviews of the Packers defense saying this is what the Eagles looked like last year. And again, you know, you don't want to overhype it too much because you never know, but I mean, it's I don't know. It's freaking, it is what it is, man.
Did someone say Micah Parsons?
Dude, 1 snap, and he is already putting Penei Sewell on his freaking knees. Just insane.
I mean, dude, precision. It's impossible that I can so amped right now. I know we're only 7 minutes into the season, and so I need to chill the bones. I get it, but golly, it's nice to see not only the precision, but him kind of spreading the ball around. Jacobs picking up blitzes. The line is holding their own.
Yeah.
Man, you wanted to have a really good start, and you were nervous about it because so many people were hurt. We haven't played at home in an opener since 2018, so we haven't really had good starts for a while.
Right.
And, again, 6 minutes or 8 minutes in or whatever it is, this is outstanding. Like, good on them for getting it out. I love it. Getting out of the gate. Finally. All right, let's keep going.
And it just never changed. You know, the nerves are intense. Because I don't know about you, but I can just envision. It seems like when the game starts, it's not that I'm necessarily envisioning bad stuff. It's just that when the game takes place and the team lines up, there is this very sharp realization of how difficult football is. You know what I mean? It's just like you realize, man, they got to go all the way down the field, and running the ball is tough, and passing the ball is tough, and what if he gets sacked? And you don't know what the pressure situation is going to be like. By the way, did Aiden Hutchinson exist in this game? I'm just saying. But, that first drive happens and you're so excited because it's like that first initial weight off your back. Like, okay, this isn't going to be a complete disaster. We can kind of envision how this team looks when it's good. We haven't seen the defense yet, but, it's a step in that direction. And then you start to panic more and more as the game goes on about different stuff. What if the defense is bad? And at some point, things go really well, and you're just partying. You're up by 14 or whatever the score is, and you just feel like life can't get any better. And then you realize there is an infinite amount of time, and they can score 600 times between now and the end of the game. So that dread just keeps creeping back in. But it never happened. It just continued to be good. You know what I mean? That they had the Isaac Tesla touchdown, which I don't really care if you want to call that garbage time or not. It was a heck of a return. It was obviously garbage time, but also a phenomenal catch. Holy crap! My son and I were just like so happy at that point. We both just spent 4 minutes just talking about how great that was. Oh wow, that was really good. Good for you, pal. Good for you. That was great. You're great. That's how you know you're having a good day, when they score a touchdown and there's still 2 minutes left and you're just like, wow, that was so good. Good for you, bud. Got a good amount of calls, so let's sneak one more in here before we take a break.
Ryan, what's up? Kyle from Madison. Happy new season. Packers playing great. It's
they're all right.
10-3.
Yeah. Fine, I guess.
Can I just say though, and maybe I won't be the only one to call in on this. I just hate these horseshit messaging penalties, man. They just called
Lord.
McKinney on just
so
the
bad.
softest taunting penalty ever. The guys get up.
And by the way, first of all, they need to get rid of that. Obviously, every single person. There is not a single fan. I refuse to believe there is a single fan of the NFL that thinks, yeah, we should get rid of the taunting. We should. Nobody thinks that. I don't even know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The craziest thing to me, though, is McKinney apparently was taunting because he stood over him, and they always show it in slow-mo. And even in slow-mo, it was maybe 5 seconds. So it was probably, 1.4 seconds he stood over the guy? But then you had the player get up and, smash his helmet into McKinney. Now, I think it's fair play either way, right? They're getting a little bit into it, all right, calm down, boys. But in what universe is taunting worse than, physically hitting a person in the head? This is how shockingly soft the NFL is. That gestures and words and things like that are just so unbelievably awful that the NFL is like, yeah, physical contact and hitting and all that's part of the game, but not words, not gestures. Don't make fun of people. Don't make people feel sad or belittled. I don't even know, what is the thing that's bad about that? I'm trying to find it and I can't find it. Don't what? Feel good about yourself at the expense of a person's feelings? That's the worst thing you can do. Crazy.
They're in each other's face. Give me a break. I don't know. Detroit probably kicks a field goal from there anyway, but it would have been 3rd and long. It gives them a little momentum. Man, every year we got to sit through a month of whatever the soup of the day is,
right,
for that year, and then they finally stop calling them about a quarter of the way
right
through the season. God, I hate the NFL.
Well, and it's also stupid because as a coach, are you seriously going to talk to McKinney about that? I guess you have to. But I understand as a coach getting upset if somebody actually does something stupid. If you go in, you start fighting with a guy, you start doing all this stuff, yeah, you get real mad as a coach. You need to use your freaking head. Bro, you got jacked. You understand these guys black out for a half a second after you lay somebody out? You get so jacked up. You can't let them be a little bit happy for a second. It's crazy. I saw somebody on Packers Twitter put out something that was my son just saw McKinney stand over that guy for a second and immediately started smoking cigarettes. I want to thank the NFL for stepping in on this very serious issue. Like, who are we helping here? You want to set a good example for the kids? Bro, fine. If you want to, like, suspend a guy for spitting in somebody else's face, I get that. For the kids and just in general, I 100% get that. But, bro, I just... Also, look, if this is about the kids and that's all I can really think of, can we acknowledge that this is not a kids game? Like, kids can play a kid version of this game, and I think it is incumbent upon the coaches to make adjustments. And there's a lot of adjustments. The level of physicality, the language, the rules, even things like taunting. It's okay to say, yes, they do that in the pros, but you can't do that. We have this weird thing about hypocrisy. Oh, but the hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy. They're two different games with two different sports, okay? It's not the same thing. Different rules. They're young kids. They're not allowed to go out to the bar and get hammered after either. Should we tell football players they're not allowed to get married? Because then, what if we have flag football kids who are like, well, I want to get married like Travis Kelce did. And that should be against the rules. Bro, can we stop being so stupid?
I want to set a bad example for the kids.
Shut up. Do you understand what kids are watching on YouTube? What they're hearing when they play games with their friends and everything? That's what parents are for. Be like, hey, don't say that. Don't do that. It's stupid. Knock it off. It's not the NFL's job to parent everybody else's kids for them. Jeez.
Just let them play. Why you got to come up with some new stupid thing to interrupt? Like, is it player safety? No. It's just nothing.
Exactly.
Like, we need them to be respectful to each other. They're trying to kill each other.
Yeah, you don't need respect.
For money. Can we stop pretending? I just can't stand that crap, man. I can't stand it. And then now what? They said, McKinney, that's one strike against him.
Right. One more and you're out.
Out of here. God. But anyway, I don't know. Parsons, in like what, 3 or 4 snaps, he's caused a 3-and-out, and then he ate up a massive double team. So, when they get this guy up to speed, my goodness, he's going to be a weapon. So,
yes.
Hopefully everybody stays healthy and we can see this one through. But definitely we've got what it takes on the field so far. So let's hope this ends up being heard by a bunch of happy Packer fans later. Talk to you later.
Yeah, again, the fact that this was, his first game, his first time taking snaps in 6 months, playing with maybe a minor back injury, but a back injury, with not a full understanding of the defense, with the team not having a full understanding of like the best ways to even use him. And again, Matthew Golden apparently is on like somewhat of a snap count, or they're kind of just slow, which I kind of said that earlier in terms of like it's going to take time, but I thought it was going to be, he's going to be on the field all the time. It would just take time for Matt LaFleur to cook stuff up for Golden and for Jordan to decide that's the guy I want to throw to. Which, when you have those sort of Jaden Reed drops, tough catch, I understand, but went right through his hands. That's kind of what Golden seems to be quite good at, not doing. This is sort of the eventually we'll get to that point. But the fact that in the midst of like, I don't know, we'll put him out there on passing situations, and Golden will throw him a couple little passes here and there to kind of get him in the game. And even with that, they just dog-walked the freaking Detroit Lions. Feels good, boys. All right, let's take a break. We got a bunch of snacks, which is hilarious because if these are all updates, they are like one after the other. 4:17, 4:18. Then we got Nico and another snacks at 4:34. So that's just how rapid fire the good news came in this game. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Dude, a little play action? Who says that Dobbs can't go downfield with that big helmet of his?
Yeah.
Look at him.
Big stupid helmet.
Dude, Jacobs with another great blitz pickup, too. Okay. All right, boys. Come on now.
Hey, that's also another great point. Jacobs was on it today. Jacobs was responsible. So the pass protection was great, but very often Jacobs had to step up and block somebody, and he did, I'm pretty sure, 100% of the time. I mean, he must have, because I don't think Jordan was under pressure once in this game. Maybe once. He did take off and run once. I don't know. But every time I saw him step up and block somebody, it was like, because Jordan's like sitting in the pocket comfortably, like, okay, so far so good. Somebody comes screaming up and you're like, oh, this might be a disaster, and then just bang. And he just continues standing in the pocket, with no problems. It's like, that a boy. So that was a good call out, man. He did a fantastic job blocking from what I remember.
And then Reed! Man, his foot doesn't look that hurt at all. What a dart! Man, what a start. I love it!
Just insane that, and I think this was right after the Lions had gotten 3 points. So the Lions go down and get 3 points, and you're kind of like, all right, well, hopefully we can respond. Come out, first play, shot play to Dobbs, which is also great because I'm immediately thinking of, he overthrew Kraft early. And I'm like, man, he's still struggling with those deep balls, dude. We're going to need him to kind of clutch up on that a little bit. Throws a freaking strike down the field to Dobbs, right on the money. And then comes back one play later and hits Reed for a touchdown, which was beautiful ball, beautiful catch, and beautiful play design. So it was just the trifecta there to march down the field and immediately score a touchdown. The highlight is on the defense, obviously. And if you were forced to nitpick one group, it would probably have to be the offense. But stuff like that is where you look at it and go, I mean, they were kind of firing on all cylinders here. The offensive run blocking was a bit of a struggle for a second. Jordan had a couple little blips in there, but, I mean, I don't know, and the Jaden Reed drop on a pretty tough reception. It's one of those where I think it was like blind until the last second. Like you couldn't see through the person's body or something, and all of a sudden it's right there at your hands. Could be wrong. It's a tough catch, but I mean that's about it, man. That's about it.
All right, so hey, this is Nico. Doing another pregame, game call.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a weird time warp.
It's what, 17-3 now. Reed just caught a touchdown. It should be 17-0, but they got a free. It's funny. They had that call on McKinney, because he taunted. And then the next play, when we smacked the receiver, every one of them taunted us. So, I don't know where you draw the line.
Right.
Apparently, taunting is the new stupid rule. Hopefully, they'll just stop doing it, 4 weeks into the season like they've done in the past. Because all McKinney did was look at him. Who cares what he said? I mean, I hate the woke culture has even affected the NFL. And it drives me insane. Anyways, about the game. It's 17-3. And it's like all my hopes and dreams have just come to fruition. Packers look freaking amazing, I mean, we don't have 4 sacks yet, which, if it's going to be 17-3 with no sacks, I'm just going to say I'm okay with that. Like, people have just been playing lights out.
Yes.
Zane Anderson had a good pass defense. I don't even know what to say. Just, we need to keep the gas down. All gas, no brake, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
All those stupid sayings. If we can score 70 points in the first half, and, this half isn't over, we should be able to, I want to score, I just want to score 100 points. That's all. A couple college teams scored 70 points yesterday. You know what? Why can't we score 70 points, okay? Is that too much to ask? I think the Lions need to lose by 70 points just to remind their fans that winning is fickle. And it's, you don't just all of a sudden, we're the team of the North. The North goes through us. Well, Rick, guess what? We're going through you like diarrhea right now. So, anyways, hey, go Pack go. We got 8 minutes left. And the Lions are running back a kickoff and not even making it to the 30. So, yeah, I think we should have another defensive stop and another Jordan Love touchdown. There you go. Go Pack go.
Yeah, one of the things I want to do is go back and check. I did look when they were at 6 points, and the game was kind of coming to a close. They ended up scoring that other touchdown, obviously, but the last time they were held to 6 points was 2023. Baltimore Ravens, like week 6, held them to 6 points. But that still has to be one of the biggest beatings they've taken. So we'll have to take a little look-see at that in a little bit, but it feels good. She feels good.
Would you look at the D? Kicking it off with a minute to go in the half. Parsons a little pressure. Oh, man. What a grab, too, by Williams.
Yes.
Get a couple points before the end of the half here. Daddy.
And it's funny. the detractors, oh, you get one garbage time sack from Parsons, that's all you got. Dog, that interception was because of Parsons. So I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, very obviously. But beautiful pressure by Parsons. I have a feeling some of those other pressures and sacks from the other guys had to do with Parsons. Not all of them. Some of them he wasn't even on the field for, but his impact was felt everywhere. But at the end of the day, those other guys still have to win, just like you got to have a safety that's going to come up and make a play like that for it to even matter. You know what I mean? Parsons can cause disruption, and he can cause panic, and he can cause mistakes to happen, but if you're not going to actually capitalize on it, then it's not going to matter. So, well done by, the stats that are being racked up. You think about, Rashawn wanting him to get a bunch of sacks, and Parsons and Wyatt and Williams getting picks, and the team sack totals and the team interception totals and all these different things that you kind of hope are big numbers. Heck of a start to have, 4 sacks by 4 different guys and a pick. It's a pretty solid little start there.
All right, so we have an Evan Williams sighting as well. He just picked the ball off with about a minute left. Parsons had a...
I love how people are just, at this point in the game, people are just calling in, just listing things like, oh, and now this happened. So there's just so much that it's just like, so now this, I guess, is also what we're good at.
Pressure up the middle. I tell you what, I've only watched Parsons when I've watched the Cowboys, which is when we play them and we beat them. So he doesn't look all that good because we handle them good, but he's slippery and fast.
He is.
Man. He's just going to get better. Obviously, we all want him to have a couple sacks today, but I'll take what we got. But Evan Williams with the INT right before halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Man, let's freaking go. Yeah, this is not the worst day ever. So,
well said.
Let's continue to place the foot on the back of the head with the mouth in the curb position.
Okay.
I still want someone to take the knees out of Kirby Joseph. I don't like that guy.
I know. I get it.
I hate seeing people defend him. Well, he's small. What's he supposed to do with the tight end? I don't know. Tackle like a man.
Yeah. Haven't you been taught how to tackle, like form tackle, since you were a small child? Shut the heck up with this stupid garbage.
You dive at someone's knees, you're not a man. You're something else. I don't want to say here because I know that children listen.
Sure.
But you're...
that thing. We know. We get it.
You're the other person. Anyway, I don't want them to score another point, and I want to score another... didn't I? Oh, yeah, I already did. I already asked for 100 points. That much too much asked. Anyway, hey, what's up, Silvio? Silvio is my son's pug. He's about a year old. We watched a lot of football last year when he was a baby, so
nice.
we're doing it again today. He is definitely a Packer fan. And he likes treats. Anyway, go, Pack, go, and let's just frickin' kill these Lions.
Well, we got to put together a little care package for Silvio, I think, because today's a good day, and everyone should just have everything that they want, Silvio should have adult food today, No dog food. Not today. We're not doing those kinds of things today. I'm not going to say you got to get him a steak, but, if you're having some pizza, let the dog have some pizza. You know what I mean? You and the dog munching on some pizza. I think that's a good day. I gave our cat pizza like a couple days ago. Seems weird, but that whole cats like Italian food thing, like Clifford, or not Clifford, Garfield. Clifford was the dog. It's real. Bro, if we have pizza or any kind of Italian anything, that cat is going psycho mode. So cat started flying up on the table and freaking out. I'm like, bro, come here. I will give you food. I'm cool, right? I'm going to give you whatever you want. Every time I grill out, you get a little piece of meat. I'm going to hook you up. You can't be jumping on my table. So, gave him a little pizza. Pepperoni. And for all the animal freaks out there. When did this become a thing, by the way, with all the animal stuff? Oh, you can't give animals that. You can't give animals that. You can't give animals. They're allergic to that. They're allergic to that. They're allergic to that. You would think that these wild creatures are like, how did they survive? Because they're allergic to everything in the wild, and they need to have some kind of all organic, formulated acai bowls or something. You know what I mean? Like avocado toast and grain, an all vegetarian vegan diet. Bro, my cat is eating the beehole out of birds, all right? So I don't think you know what you're talking about. There are slaughtered animals all over my house. As a result, this thing has worms coming out of its body, and it's fine. I can give it pepperoni pizza if I want to. Oh, they're allergic. That's bad. That's bad. They're going to have high cholesterol. They're allergic. They could die if they have too much of it. I'm going to die if I have to listen to too many of your stupid words. Shut up. Freaking animal people are just the worst. And I'm not talking about people that love animals. I love animals. Animals are awesome. But I love animals the way we all used to love animals, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, where you love animals a lot. You talk to them, you play with them, you hang out with them all day. They're your best friend, but they're also just a freaking animal. And if you want to throw scraps at them for them to eat or, you know, whatever, that's fine. It's become like a religion, like in India with the cows. Like, I don't know, you got to do something kind of worshipy ritual to them and stuff. Next animal I'm going to get 2 hamsters. One of them is going to be my best friend. The other one I'm going to have to punt because it's funny. So shut up. But anyway, you should give your dog treats. I don't know how we got from like, you should treat your dog to, I'm going to punt animals all over the place. Drew, did we come to you yet? I don't think so.
Hey Ryan, it's Drew from Green Bay, and it's halftime. So it turns out that Parsons really is that good because
seems to be good, right?
He's in, he's mostly being used as a third down pass rusher, but every play he's in, they're pointing to him. Goff looks flustered,
yes,
whether he gets there or not, and he's almost always in the face or about to get there, even on quick passes, and also that.
Ironically, that's what Goff says when Parsons gets close to him. Not in the face. Just not in the face.
By Evan Williams was absolutely ridiculous. He read that
Beautiful.
from a mile away and broken. I thought there was no way he was going to get there. And not only did he get there, but he made the catch somehow. Like, Evan Williams is back from the peak of last year that we knew of. And, yeah, I thought Savion Williams, you know, we were talking about, you know, could he play in the return game, but he's been injured all preseason, so we didn't really know, and I didn't think we'd use him that way because of his back injury or whatever he had, and it turns out they did have plans, and he looks pretty good when he was out there. He can make those, you know, jukes, and I hope we see more of them. But yeah, really excited. Gibbs did do some damage early on, but most of his runs that did anything were kind of bouncing to the outside.
I was just going to say, that was kind of early on. There was nothing there. He bounced to the outside, and we didn't have any help for whatever reason. But that kind of got brought to an end pretty quick as well.
Just need to do a little better containing, but
yep.
You know, once they started running up the middle, they really haven't been getting too much, and we just snipped it out. And I really love how the Packers defense is just rallying to the ball. It's not 1 or 2 guys; it's like 5, 6 guys. So, and then Neiman made that. He came out big on that 16-second punt at the end of the half. So to make the tackle, I think it was him. Anyways, have a good day. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about the game. But
I can't wait either. I don't know what the heck I'm going to say, but no, it's a good point on the running backs, and it's a credit to our team and our coaching staff as well. I think those are the little things that we don't really think about as much. When you see them have success, and then suddenly it's like, why didn't they do that anymore? It's weird. Why didn't that work anymore? That's Jeff Hafley up in the box. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the run game didn't work, and then it did, and this wasn't working, and then it did. And I mean, our coaching staff is doing a really good job of, when there's an issue, figuring out a way to fix the issue. And I don't know who to give more credit to, the players or the coaching staff, but right now the synergy between those two is phenomenal. And whatever they were doing that was causing problems, and I'll leave that alone because that's outside of what you were talking about.
Ryan, Raider McCready.
Yo.
Got the cheese hat on, and
boy.
Chassé bringing great luck. Micah Parsons has a lot to do with it. Anybody that says that was a bad trade, they sure suck it. Like, really hard, because he's up there just causing havoc. Love to see it. Can't wait for the second half of the game. Go Pack, go, baby.
People are saying all kinds of stupid stuff, and I had my fun on social media. I can't say on here exactly what the words were that I said, but I've been having a little bit of fun. That's for sure. What do we got for time? I think I just lost my thing. Here we go. All right, I guess we'll take a break because we got 3 snacks in a row. We got 3 snacks updates in a row here. So we'll do that after the break.
Daddy, start the second half. Little bend, don't break.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was going to talk about, the whole bend, don't break thing. They ran that really well. From a fan base that hates bend, don't break, they did a fantastic job of just, we're going to kind of let you do a thing, but literally there's nothing else that you can do. And even those easy things are not always going to be super easy because the pressure is going to get there very fast, and also sometimes these guys are going to be covered, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. But if you even think about running the ball or throwing the ball deep, that ain't going to happen. So go ahead and take your little check down and see if you can get more than 2 yards. It's kind of the difference between the Joe Barry and Dom Capers bend, don't break, which was, on 1st and 10, I'm going to give you 7, and then I'm going to give you another 7, and then 8, and then 4, but then 9. And we're kind of just hoping that we get a fluky pick somewhere in the middle of all this stuff. This tended to be, and again, it got better as the game went on, this tended to be more, we'll give you 2 and see if you can get more than that. But we're not giving you enough to actually get first downs here.
When we don't get home, and they kind of use Laporta pretty exclusively on that drive, it obviously makes a difference. But I know Parsons doesn't have any sacks, but he's getting pressure, man.
Yeah.
Cooper's playing great.
He will. Don't you worry.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. We're not going to shut him out. We're playing. I feel we're playing pretty stout on D. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got, man. That's all I've got. Feeling good.
That's all you need. That's all you need. You know what I mean? It's all you got, and it's all you need. And just hang in there. But can I also just say real quick, I don't think I've heard Lambeau Field that loud, like, kind of ever. And it's funny that it just happened on, like, arbitrary second downs because Micah Parsons happened to come in. In fact, at one point they were showing, like, the decibel meter. What? Maybe I'm misremembering this, but I thought it was at, like, 114 or something insane. By itself, that's shocking. But even still, if I'm not mistaken, the Packers stadium at the loudest possible times is usually, like, 95 or something. It's just, first of all, it's not built for sound. And I don't think it's really known for being like the loudest environment. If it was hitting the numbers that thing said it was hitting, those are like ear bleeding. And they've got announcers talking and I can't hear them. It's crazy to think, but I honestly do not know that I've heard. It's hard to know from sitting on your couch, but from my ability to gauge it, I don't know that I've heard the stadium that loud before. Insane.
The D. Holding it in, man. Holding it in. Just stopped him on 3rd down at their 1 yard line. Man, feisty. Our inside linebackers look all right. Gary's got a little pep.
Edgerrin missed 1 tackle. That kind of ticked me off a little bit. But I think it was their speedster wide receiver. And when I saw that, I started to feel a little bit better about that. Not that it's good, but it's like, Edgerrin, dude, you're the guy that's never supposed to let that stuff happen. How did you let that happen? And it's like, yeah, that dude's fast. It's probably a potentially misjudged it type of situation. You kind of underestimate the speed that those types of guys have. We've seen Christian Watson do that to people. They take an angle, and it's like, well, that wasn't a steep enough angle. My bad.
And, hey, big shout to the special teams.
Yeah. Neiman?
Putting them in some field position stuff, which I'm totally cool with. Just need the offense to kind of, I don't know, I can't tell if I'm sure if they're getting conservative or they're just doing whatever, but wouldn't mind the offense, running some clock here, maybe getting some points and putting this baby to bed. Come on!
I also love that every time you guys call in and say, boy, it would be nice. I'm sitting here going, yeah, that'll happen too. Maybe that's the good luck charm. All along, it was the callers calling into Packernet After Dark, wishing for things. I'll have to try that out next week.
Now that, my man, is the way to finish it off. Nice work. Even with Tom going out, the line holding up, doing their thing, Jacobs getting kind of mean, pushing him a little bit. I mean, we've controlled the line all day, but that, to me, that's what really, really, really good teams do. Ending the game that way, man, we're not over yet. And crazy things have happened, but I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, man, that was, when you get the ball where we did, doing what we just did, that's what good teams are supposed to do. Hope Tom's okay. I just hope Tom's okay. That's it. It's Hutchinson's fault, actually. He tried to take out Love and threw Love right into Tom, and Tom had to fall on his damn hip. Rat B. We march!
Yeah, that's a good call with Zach Tom. I haven't really been watching a lot of the updates, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with him. He fell right on his hip, so my immediate thought was, I mean, that hurts, but I doubt, it's anything more than just that freaking hurt. But at the same time, when you're massive and you're getting, when you're 300 plus pounds and you're being thrown around by, 280 pound guys or whatever, it's not impossible that you broke your freaking hip or something, you know what I mean? So, wishing the best for him. I will say, I was, first of all, initially very annoyed that Belton didn't immediately come out. Like, okay, Belton time. And then that first play, the right guard goes and blows open a hole, and I'm like, let's go, Belton. And it turns out that it's freaking Kennard or whatever. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then he just dominates, not only as just in general, but like especially as a run blocker, just blowing open holes and everything. I'm like, I mean, it's not going to be a thing or anything, but it's not a bad thing. So also makes you feel a little bit better about Belton not being out there. He came out eventually, but it's like maybe it has more to do with this guy's actually just really good, really trustworthy or whatever. And less to do with the fact that we just really don't want Belton out there because he's terrible. Because that's probably not it. But you're right, man. That's the way you end out a game. Just we're going to put it in Josh Jacobs' hands. We're going to run it right down your throat, and there's not a freaking thing you can do about it. We're doing it. We're running. We're not going to pass right now. Are you crazy? We're going to run. And we run, and we run, and we run, and they couldn't frickin' stop it. So, that's just how it goes. It's just the way she goes, boys.
Woo! Ryan, Kyle from Madison, man.
What's up, dog?
Oh, my goodness. That was an absolute savage drive right there by the Packers.
Yes.
With a little under 8 to go. Just awesome play calls by LaFleur. Looked like Jordan canned a pass play for a run. Absolutely the right call there. And then the offensive line and Jacobs just road grading. And I love the fourth down call. Just absolutely you go for that. Absolutely. LaFleur's been dreaming of a fourth down.
Yeah. And I at first I was a little torn. But I thought, at this point, if you're not willing to do it in this situation, when you think about it in terms of like, this is a trust your players kind of a thing. This is a locker room kind of a deal more than just a strategy thing. And you say, look, we're up by a ton. Our offense is doing great. But beyond that, we're talking about, do I trust with a massive lead this defense that has been dominant with this group backed up? Bro, just go. Just go. So, again, I tend to be a coward when it comes to play calling a lot of the time, but I thought about that one for about an extra half a second, and I was like, no, you got to go here.
To work on nailing the coffin, and he got his chance, and then that, I don't know, about a 3-yard Jacobs run is just, that man, even on that play, you watch him with his hips, you go back and watch that play. Nobody really touches him, man, but he's like, he readjusted his center of gravity like 3 times a yard and just ran full speed into that end zone. That is a savage drive. That is exactly what needs to be done. Man, it's looking good. it's looking good. But that's the drive you want to see. Yeah. That is how you finish a team off. So we'll see. We got a little bit of game left, but they're up 3 scores. So go Pack.
That cut by Josh Jacobs was so sharp, it scared me. I thought for sure he broke his knee or his ankle or something. Same with Jordan, by the way, with his slightly less graceful thing that he did on his little run. I was glad to see him pop up and seem fine. But yeah, Jacobs, it was such a sharp cut. I thought he snapped his leg. And even as he was driving toward the end zone, I'm like, is he okay? And then you watch the replay in slow-mo, and it was just a normal little juke move there, dog. It was I don't know. My brain freaked out for a second there because I'm pretty sure he snapped his leg in half. You run that slow-mo back again. I saw something for sure.
So Wyatt just got the stop on 4th down. It's Jersey Mike. Yo, let me tell you something. They just before that play, they pan up to Halfley up in the booth. Yep. And you can tell if you're watching his chest. His heart is going a mile a minute.
I know.
His chest is thumping. He's shaking. His hands are shaking. Yep. He's trying to cover his mouth. This man's nerves are on fire. Jeff Halfley, call yourself a game, baby. Oh, I love this defense. This is what I was imagining all off season. We in it, baby. Go Pack, go.
I saw the same thing you saw on that, and maybe that's not what it was, but he looked like he was a mess and just 1,000% focused. I always kind of get annoyed when they, pan up to the booth and they just seem very nonchalant. You got the guys up there just drawing on their little things or whatever, and the coordinators are just kind of hand on the chin, kind of, covers his mouth to call in a play real quick and then just sit. I get that he's doing his job and whatever, but sometimes I just get annoyed where it's it looks too relaxed in there. Why? I shouldn't be more nervous than you sitting on my freaking couch, bro. But Halfley's a good dude. He is credit to this staff. Matt LaFleur, I'm assuming especially, and whoever else was involved from the front office and the rest of the coaching staff and Murphy or whoever, for bringing that guy in here, because we all had our favorites, and he was not on that list for most of us, or any of us, some of us, whatever, and he has been incredible. Granted, guys like Micah Parsons helped that or whatever, but even last year, we saw the growth, we saw how impressive they were despite a lot of things, pressures and whatnot, and no, he's been great. And I just have I think the confidence thing is the most important part. It's, do I trust that if we give you what you need, you'll give us what we need? And I do have that. And you look at Micah Parsons, and it's well, are they going to figure out different ways to use him? And I am supremely confident. I just am that they're going to figure out ways not only to use him, but to not only to utilize him to get to the quarterback, but to utilize him to get other people to the quarterback as well. And I think we might have already seen that. We already saw different ways to employ him. They're already got him in the middle of the defense, the end, the right, the left. And I have a feeling we're just getting started with that, and I'm just incredibly excited. And the other cool thing about the defense, part of it is, when you look at the offense, for example, we know Matt LaFleur can come up with some crazy stuff, but there's always that balancing act of you don't want to do too much because sometimes your guys can't handle it and you're getting a little too crazy and you need to dial it in. It feels like we have the defense to where we don't have to dial back jack squat. It is Halfley, give them your craziest stuff, bro. If you ever just been sitting on the toilet one day, just what if? Just put it in. See what happens. This defensive game plan was with just a handful of hours, not literally, but days, little over a week, I think, 2 weeks, whatever it was, of finding out that you have this guy on your team, watching a ton of his tape. By the way, that was one of the thoughts I had when he was I watched every single one of his snaps and all that stuff. You understand other defensive coordinators are spending time on their own defense and everything else. This guy has to do a separate study assignment. These are things he's not going to have to go back and watch all of his games again. He's already done that. He's going to go back and watch this game. But it's just going to get better. That's the only thing I can say. And yes, there's probably an element of Detroit didn't exactly have their best foot forward or whatever. But again, it's hard to find specifics. Did they shoot themselves in the foot with drops, with errant passes, with fumbles? with muffed punts, with penalties. No, not really. It was a pretty clean game across the board. I thought they played a really good game. The Packers are just better. They might get sharper, for sure. They might come up with better plays. They got the offensive and defensive coordinators, or they got to kind of figure out their own thing too, I guess. But I don't think that's the majority of it.
Oh my goodness, Devontae Wyatt with one of the most satisfying sacks in recent memory, whips Goff to the ground on 4th and 2, deep in Lions territory. Oh my goodness, the defense. I mean, these last 2 series, oh my days.
Yeah.
6 to go. Packers with the ball deep in the territory of Lions territory, and the defense is looking positively insane.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point now where it was just a feast, and everybody's getting theirs. Everybody's getting home, and you just felt Goff just... I mean, he's a guy that doesn't generally panic. He's pretty good under pressure. He's pretty, granted, he doesn't face a ton of it because he's had really good offensive lines, but it was just relentless, one after another, after another, after another. And then, like you said, to have Wyatt and remember, that guy is an athletic freak as well. So if he's able to run this little tiny, I don't even know if it was fully a stunt. I know he kind of jumped to the right and he had some space there and it was just off to the races. And that's the other thing with guys like Micah and other guys. You create space. You got Rashawn speed rushing around the edge and it's like, well, maybe he doesn't have the speed to get home. Yeah, but that tackle is now far away from the guard and we're just creating spacing. And all it takes is one guy, like a really fast defensive tackle going up against a not super fast or talented center, to be like, whoops, and just go flying around the other side. And when he gets going north and south, he can get home in a hurry. And it was just constant. Even things that are not going to go down in the books as pressures, they kind of were, in that you watch the play and you just realize that if that ball didn't come out, that was going to collapse soon. Right? Probably technically wasn't a pressure, but none of those offensive linemen were winning their matchups. So there's a lot of stats that are going to not show up, that are not going to demonstrate just how dominant this was by our defense. And again, to have Rashawn, to have Van Ness, to have Wyatt and Parsons all come through and get their sacks on top of all the pressures, on top of all the non-pressures that still cause panic, as well as the, non-pressures that cause a complete change of game plan, even the ones where there wasn't necessarily pressure or even something close to pressure. There still are constant just quick strikes because they just realize he cannot hold the ball for 3 seconds. We can't trust that. Well, I hate to do it because there's still going to be some bangers coming in, but we do have to get out of here, and I still have another podcast to record, so I am going to leave it at that. Appreciate all the calls. This is going to be a fantastic week. Well, not even quite a full week, is it? Because we got a quick turnaround here on Thursday. But we'll do as much celebrating as we can. Hopefully can get to 2-0 quick, fast, and in a hurry here. But another pretty tough matchup coming up. But worry about that when the time comes. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.